Okay, so you want to own a casino. Neon lights, a floor full of people who came here specifically to hand you their money, a house edge quietly working in your favor on every single spin, every single hand, every single roll. That's the picture. Guaranteed math, guaranteed profit, a business where the odds are permanently rigged in your direction. Here's what that picture leaves out. A casino license that can cost more than the casino itself. A building that has to run 24 hours a day, whether anyone is inside it or not, and a business model so capital intensive that half the casinos built in the last 40 years have gone bankrupt at least once. By the end of this, you'll understand why the house always wins on the felt, and why that almost never means the owner wins on the balance sheet. Before you touch a single card table, you need permission to exist, and that permission is the first brutal cost. A commercial casino license in the United States is not something you apply for like a business permit. In states like New York, a single downstate casino license recently required an $500 million upfront licensing fee before construction, before a single slot machine, before a single dollar of revenue. In Massachusetts, licenses ran into the hundreds of millions. Even in smaller markets, state gaming commissions typically demand licensing fees in the tens of millions of dollars, background investigations into every investor, and proof of sufficient capital reserves to survive years of operating losses. This is the industry's first filter. It's designed to keep out anyone who isn't already extraordinarily wealthy, because the states that award these licenses know exactly how fragile the business underneath the neon actually is. Now you own the license. You still don't own a casino. You own permission to build one, and building one is where the real money disappears. A large Las Vegas Strip resort casino can cost anywhere from $2 billion to over $10 billion to construct. The Cosmopolitan cost roughly $3.9 billion. Resorts World Las Vegas came in around $4.3 billion. And here's the part that surprises people. The gaming floor, the part everyone pictures, is often less than 10% of the total square footage. The rest is hotel rooms, restaurants, theaters, convention space, parking structures, pools, retail. Modern casinos aren't gambling businesses with hotels attached. They're hotel and entertainment complexes with a gambling floor stapled to the middle, and that floor exists mainly to get people to buy everything else. Before you take a single bet, you're carrying debt service on billions of dollars, a payroll for thousands of employees who work every single day of the year, and utility bills for a building that never closes, never dims the lights, and never turns off the air conditioning, because a dark casino floor is a casino losing money every second it stays that way. So how does a casino actually make its money? Here's the mechanism nobody explains clearly. Every game on the floor has a built-in mathematical edge in the house's favor. On American roulette, the house edge is about 5.26%. On slot machines, it typically runs between 4% and 15%, meaning for every $100 wagered, the machine is designed to keep $4 to $15 over the long run. Blackjack, played with basic strategy, can run as low as 0.5%, which is exactly why casinos love high-limit blackjack players less than they love slot players. This edge is not a scam, and it's not illegal. It's disclosed, it's regulated, and it's mathematically guaranteed over a large enough number of plays. The technical term for what the casino actually keeps is called the hold, the percentage of money wagered that the casino retains after paying out winnings. A slot floor with a 8% hold on $50 million wagered in a month keeps $4 million. That's the engine. Multiply a small percentage across an enormous volume of bets, and the numbers become real. But the house edge only works if the house has enough cash sitting in reserve to survive short-term losing streaks, because on any given night, on any given table, the house can lose. A whale, a high-limit player betting hundreds of thousands per hand, can walk away from a single session up 7 or 8 figures. This is exactly why casinos maintain enormous cash reserves, and why they buy insurance against exactly this scenario. In 2012, a gambler named Don Johnson won roughly $15 million from Atlantic City's Tropicana, Borgata, and Caesars over the course of one winning streak in blackjack, using negotiated rule advantages the casinos later regretted offering. The math always wins eventually, but eventually can be a very expensive word if you're the one covering the gap in the meantime. Here's the part that separates casino economics from almost every other business we've looked at. The gaming floor barely matters compared to everything wrapped around it. Modern casino resorts make a significant share of total revenue from non-gaming sources, hotel rooms, restaurants, nightclubs, retail, and convention business. In Las Vegas specifically, gaming revenue has fallen to roughly 35% of total Strip revenue in recent years, with the majority now coming from rooms, food and beverage, and entertainment. This is a deliberate strategic shift. A guest who never touches a slot machine but spends $600 a night on a room, $400 on dinner, and $300 on a show is often more profitable and far more predictable than a slot player generating an uncertain hold. The gambling floor's real job in a modern resort isn't just to collect money directly, it's to be the reason people fly in, fill the hotel, and spend money everywhere else in the building. Then there's the layer almost nobody outside the industry understands: comps. Casinos give away rooms, meals, show tickets, and sometimes entire trips for free to players they've identified as valuable based on tracked play. A player rated at $500 an hour of average bet size might receive thousands of dollars in free rooms and dining across a single trip. This looks like the casino losing money. It isn't. It's customer acquisition cost, calculated with extreme precision using theoretical loss models. If the math says a player will lose $2,000 over a weekend based on their average bet and time at the table, the casino will happily comp $400 of that back to guarantee the player returns. Every comp is a bet that the guaranteed math of the house edge will cover the giveaway many times over. Now the operating costs, the ones that run every single day, regardless of how the floor performs, labor is enormous. A large resort casino can employ 5,000 to 12,000 people. Dealers, security, surveillance staff, housekeeping, food service, all working around the clock. Surveillance alone is its own department, running thousands of cameras continuously, because a casino floor without airtight security is a casino that loses money to cheating, employee theft, and organized card-counting teams faster than the house edge can recover it. Regulatory compliance is relentless. Anti-money laundering reporting, responsible gaming programs, state audits, and licensing renewals that never stop once you've opened your doors. And then there's marketing, because in a market like Las Vegas or Macau or Atlantic City, you're not just competing for gamblers, you're competing for tourists who have dozens of nearly identical resorts to choose from within walking distance. This is where casinos die, and Atlantic City is the clearest case study in the country. At its peak, Atlantic City had 12 operating casinos. Then Pennsylvania, New York, Maryland, and other neighboring states legalized their own casinos, and Atlantic City's captive customer base simply stopped needing to drive there. Between 2014 and 2016 alone, 4 Atlantic City casinos closed, including the Revel, a $2.4 billion resort that had opened in 2012 and filed for bankruptcy within 2 years, eventually selling for roughly $200 million, less than a tenth of what it cost to build. The lesson is structural, not personal. A casino's value depends entirely on being a destination people have to travel to. The moment gambling becomes available closer to home, the resort built specifically to be that destination becomes an oversized, over-leveraged building with a gaming floor nobody needs to fly in for anymore. So what does a realistic year actually look like? Take a mid-sized regional casino resort, not a strip mega resort, generating $300 million in annual gross gaming revenue with a healthy 8% average hold and strong non-gaming revenue from rooms and dining, bringing total revenue to roughly $450 million. Subtract labor, typically the largest single cost, running $150 million or more. Subtract marketing and comps, another $60 million. Subtract utilities, maintenance, and insurance on a building that never closes, $40 million. Subtract debt service on the original construction cost, easily $80 million to $120 million a year on a billion-dollar build. What's left is a genuinely thin operating margin, often in the range of 8% to 15% of revenue in a good year, and in a bad year, when a new competitor opens 40 minutes away or a recession trims discretionary travel spending, that margin can vanish entirely. The house edge is real. It's mathematically guaranteed, but the house edge belongs to the gaming floor, and the gaming floor is only one small, heavily taxed, heavily regulated piece of an enormous, debt-financed hospitality machine that has to fill thousands of rooms and pay thousands of salaries every single day, whether the dice are hot or cold. The casino doesn't make its money by beating the players. It makes its money, when it makes money at all, by being the single single, most expensive, most tightly run version of a hotel that anyone in town has ever built.